It should be negative.
And do you have any knowledge about what is in your wife's account?
No, it's probably negative too. It was not nothing in there. If there's anything in there, it's because of Chris. Chris goes to school.
Now, if you were to be released and Ms. Romanos and Mr. Costagado were to be released, would you guys still live together?
They're my world. That's all I have.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
So y'all would be, wherever you're residing, y'all would be together?
Yes, sir.
So your attorney mentioned your criminal history a little bit. And in fact, do you know the first time you were arrested, what that was for?
I don't remember, sir. I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember being charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle in August of 1988?
Yeah. I do now.
Okay. And what happened with your case? What was the outcome?
Nothing. Everything's satisfactory.
You're on probation, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On that case, do you remember a period of time where you failed to report to the probation department for a period of time?
No, sir. I don't think I ever failed to report. If it was, it might have been the time that I was in the hospital. She kind of wrote me off, but then when I talked to her, we cleared everything up.
So,
in my line of work, there's a lot of work injuries. A lot of work injuries. In my kind of work, you'd be lucky if you get home that night. I mean, it's just industrial work, and it's.
You do agree with me though, when you're on probation for a felony charge, it's so important to follow all the rules of probation, right?
I always do. That's why I followed them all correctly, 100%. They're all satisfactory. And then somebody even got commended on my probation officers, all of them. Actually, I even talked to a couple of them. They're real nice people. They're good people, good-hearted people.
So you were placed on 6 years deferred adjudication back in August of 1988. Does that sound about right?
You have to confirm with my lawyer, but I think that's about right.
Okay. And in between the period of April to June of 1992, you did not report to probation, correct?
I don't see the numbers. You have the numbers in front of you, sir, so I'm not sure.
You said that was that about when you were sick?
I have no idea, sir. It's way back then. I'm going on 54 years old, sir. I barely remember what I did yesterday. So if you're telling me you're looking at the paperwork and that's what it says, then that's what it says. I'm not looking at the paperwork, you are, sir. So if that's what it says, then I believe what you're telling me.
If the probation department sent in an MTR, motion to revoke, that alleged you weren't reporting during that period of time, would your probation officer be telling the truth?
I don't remember having no MTR, sir. But yes, they would be telling the truth if there was something like that on your paperwork, but I never had no MTR.
And you don't remember having an MTR, but do you remember having to come to court for one, and after you've been a fugitive for a couple months after that MTR was filed?
No, I don't remember. If you have it in front of you, you have it in front of you, but I don't remember that. I was, a young kid.
You would agree with me that reporting to a probation officer is very similar to reporting to a pre-trial officer that deals with people that have cases pending, right?
I agree 100%, sir. Yes, sir.
Also,
I'm betting my life on it.
And on that same, around that same time, you were also charged with evading arrest, correct?
Those were all put together. I think you're separating them, but they were all one thing.
Okay, so that was part of the unauthorized use of a vehicle case.
Yeah, there was some things on there, different things, yes, sir.
And then later, in 1994, you were charged with assault bodily injury, correct?
I don't remember the date, but yeah, that's correct.
And what happened with that case?
You have to read it to me, and I'll tell you.
Did you go to jail or did you get probation? Do you remember?
Probably probation. I don't remember.
And then on February of 1999, you were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, right?
That's correct, sir.
Right. And in that case, it was alleged that you stabbed somebody, right?
Yes, sir. He came into the house. I had to do what I had to do.
And you pled guilty to that, correct?
It was the only way to keep me outside and working.
And you were placed on deferred adjudication for 5 years, correct?
Sounds about right, yes, sir. The judge agreed to meet with me that the case should have went my way, that I should have went to court and fought it. But again, I told him that, I needed my livelihood. I have to survive. You know what I mean? So he agreed for me. That's why I only got 5 years. And any judge would tell you should have got about 10, 20 years probation. But he only gave me 5 because he agreed that what had happened was self-defense and I should have took it to court.
All right. So you entered a plea on that. You took responsibility for that case at the time.
I take responsibility for everything I do, sir.
And you mentioned earlier with your attorney about a federal case that you had. What was that case for?
Paperwork. That same case, something had happened, and I tried to purchase a weapon. I just signed some paperwork. The guy filled it out for me, and then I got in trouble for it.
So it was for a firearms offense?
I never got the firearm. It was just the guy filled it up. I signed.
That's not the charge. I don't even know what happened and all that. But like, this was for unlawful possession of a firearm, correct? What were you charged with? You know.
I was trying to buy a firearm. I never got a firearm. It was just paper I signed.
All right. So something to do with firearm. And were you sent to federal prison for that offense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long did you go to federal prison?
1 year, 1 day.
And then you said after that you were on supervised release for how long? How long were you on supervised release?
Well, a year, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Maybe less.
Do you remember like the time frame, the year, or anything like that?
No, sir.
Was it after you were on the probation for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon?
I think they kind of ran together.
Okay.
The probation officer said that we were doing real good. I was doing real good, so they just kind of ran together. They kind of knew each other, so they said, "Oh no, you're a very good guy. We're gonna just do it like that." So that's how it happened. So how they just ran them together.
Okay. Everybody seems to think you're a pretty good guy.
I would tend to agree, except you.
No, your probation officer, you said they would say you're a model probationer and stuff like that.
I've been in this business for 28 years. I know a lot of good people. And let me tell you, I've never done anything wrong. I'm a good guy. You might have a lot of paperwork there, but that doesn't describe a person. That describes a boy. When a man changes who he is, he does things right. Things happen, and you have to deal with it. And here we are dealing with it. But like the judges here, I'm here to do right. And I ain't going nowhere because my family's sitting in Bear County, let me tell you. And we're going to get through this because that's all I know how to do is survive. And believe me, we will get through this.
Well, in the early 2000s, you weren't a boy, you were in your 30s, correct?
A boy at mine, in my mind.
Mr. Presidio.
The age doesn't exactly make you a man. Your mentality does. I'm a man now, and I plan to stay that way. And I've been doing that for the last 20 years, 24 years, and I plan to stay like that because I have known no other way. When God enters your heart, that's all there is. There is nothing. As long as He be with you, no matter who be against you. And that's just the way it is.
Now, you had talked about your doctor on the outside, Dr. Nguyen.
That's correct.
Okay. And
Don't ask me about the spelling. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird.
that's okay. Now, Dr. Nguyen, he's with the University Health System.
That's correct.
Okay.
I think he does other practices too, but university is what we met.
Right. And that's where you routinely go for care when you're on the outside.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Do you know who provides the medical care for you, for inmates at the Bexar County Jail?
The same.
It's university, right?
Yes, sir. That doesn't mean you're getting the medications right, because if not, my medications would have debris in them. I wouldn't be getting different milligrams. I wouldn't be sick. I would be thrown on the floor at 3 o'clock in the morning because my sugar is so low. That doesn't mean you're getting the same people. Just because you're getting the medications, you're not getting the medications you need. That's a big difference. If I sold you a car and I say, oh, just put in the engine, that's not true. You need to put the engine that the car needs. That's just the way it is. I'm not getting what I need. And yes, I know where I'm at, and I can't be picky, but I still have a right to live. You can't just give me any medication, especially stuff that's already shut down my kidneys. I have a right. You have a right.
And as an inmate at the Bexar County Jail, you were getting medical care from the same place you were getting it when you were free and out in the world before this.
That's a true statement, but I'm not getting the quality. That you're not getting the same medications. If you compare the medications, they're not the same milligrams. They're not the same medicines. You can't compare one brand to another and say, oh yeah, you could say that one. That's not true.
Now, since you've been in the jail, have you been dealing with doctors over there that are in the infirmary?
I've dealt with a few that don't too much listen to me, but I try to let them know what's going on. They're not real. They really don't really pay attention. They just want to give you what they want to give you. But again, I've been around for a long time, and you're not gonna just give me what you want.
And aside from, you know that those doctors that are over there at the jail, they actually rotate out from the main university. You know that?
That being said, that has nothing to do with the medication I'm getting. That's not correct.
I've heard what you said about the medication. I'm asking you a simple question. Since you've interacted with these doctors, do you know that they just rotate out from main university?
I do now.
Okay, but so it's not like they're any different than the doctors you'd get if you went to the emergency room at University Hospital, one of the best hospitals.
I'm not going to the emergency room. I'm dealing with one doctor that I've been dealing with for quite a while.
So, but that's who's taking care of you. And you said you fell. Did you go to the infirmary at that time?
Yes, sir.
Is that the only time you've been at the infirmary since you've been in the jail?
When they've been sending somebody to check on me, and I went, I think, another 2 times. But I have made sick calls. They don't go nowhere. They just tell me, okay, still sitting in the cell.
But you're not in the infirmary unit right now. That's the jail.
No, sir.
You're in the regular unit.
No, sir.
And
Well, I wouldn't call it regular. There's nothing regular about it, but yes, sir.
do you think you're the only inmate at the Bexar County Jail that has issues with diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol?
No, sir. I know for a fact that I'm not.
It's probably something they know how to deal with over there pretty well at this point.
I would tend to disagree with you, sir. Maybe not in my case. Because if you switch to me and you're the one laying on the floor at 3 o'clock in the morning, can't breathe, with your sugar low, sweating, you would think twice right away. You would reverse that, what you just told me. If you were sitting there with holding the back of your head, thinking your eyes are going to pop in your head, you're going to have an aneurysm, you would change your mind.
If that would happen to you when you were in the pre-roll, you would have gone to university, right?
If that would have happened to me then, I would have talked to Dr. Wayne and we would have settled it. But no, he's been taking care of me. I have not had that problem. I have not been holding my head. I have not been thrown on the floor at 3 o'clock in the morning. Or they're just looking at me like, what's going on with me?
Would it satisfy you if Dr. Wynn just talked to your doctors over at the jail about your situation?
It would satisfy me to get the medication I need.
I'll pass the witness around.
You can step down, sir.
My son has a little nightgown just like that. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. I appreciate it. Okay, good man, thank you.
Defense, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Rest at this time?
Yes, sir.
State?
The state calls Ryan Rodriguez.